Hey everybody, welcome to the Jersey Shore. I'm Tim Conley and I'm here to tell you how to get rich with your agency. I know that's usually not my kind of thing where I talk about how to do something crazy like getting rich, but it's more about wealth that I really want to discuss, and there's 3 ways that we're going to get wealthy with an agency. So let's check it. Alright, I'm in Asbury Park, New Jersey, the home of the headquarters of Contractor Dynamics, an agency I invested in a couple of years ago. We have grown and we're doing really well, and it's kind of fun to be out here. Thankfully, I'm getting some sunshine. All the clouds just hit, but I've been getting some sunshine, so I had to come out here after the temperature got above freezing. So it's literally 34 degrees right now, but it looks fantastic. There's a beautiful view of the Jersey Shore. If you ever get a chance, come out here in the summertime. It's a ton of fun, lots of concerts and everything. So let's get into helping you get wealthy with your agency. So the first thing is you've got to have super high margins. You've got to have the ability to charge enough and have enough left over after all your expenses to be able to grow and succeed. So this is something that a lot of people are trying to do the opposite. They're trying to go with a high volume, low ticket approach with like productized services with their agency. It seems like that's the way to go, but the thing is long-term, services exist because they're custom. And to be able to provide custom results for someone, you have to charge a lot of money. I focus on high margins. I call it little hinges swing big doors. We want to be able to have a lot of money coming in and be able to provide an amazing service, one that we can truly get results for our clients, and then be able to make a significant profit. High margins are the difference between what you're taking in, your revenue, and what you're spending, your expenses. So you need to have a very high net profit. Most agencies are running at about 15 to at best 25%. And what I want you to do is run from 25% to maybe 40% in net profit, and be able to take that net profit and invest it in better team members, invest it in better processes, invest that money into the next thing. All right, the second way that we're going to get wealthy from an agency is to extract money, profit out of the company and invest it into other things. If you're not investing your profits and you're spending it on your lifestyle, which is what most agency owners end up doing, they just focus on their lifestyle and they don't think about the future, and they think maybe one day I'll sell my agency and that's how I'm going to retire. But let me clue you into something. Most agencies don't sell. It's not that they don't sell for very much, they just literally don't sell. So if you are going to sell your agency, you're likely to only get about 2 times to maybe 4 times earnings. That's not enough money to actually retire on unless you've been socking a whole bunch of money away into other investments. And that's what I've been doing. I've been in the service business, the agency business, for about 20 years. And if it wasn't for the fact that I've been putting money away, I would be at this age, be like freaking out right now. But the whole idea is that we have money going into other assets. So what kind of assets do I invest in? 1, businesses. I'm here in Asbury Park, New Jersey because I invested in a company here. I also invest in stocks, mostly mutual funds, ETFs. I've got a lot of money in those to make it really simple. You know, it's like that's really more of a savings account. It's not truly investing. Another thing is real estate. I've been looking at putting money back into real estate. I was into real estate a long time ago, and now I'm ready because of all the other investing everything that I've done over the last decade, I'm ready to start sinking money into something that's a little less risky. So I've been looking at investing. Oh, I've just walked around. You're hitting some wind noise because I wanted to show you a building that I'm thinking about getting buying an apartment in, and maybe it'll cash flow. I don't know if it will or not, but here I'm gonna show it to you. We're gonna cut the sound, maybe throw in a little music because it's really windy out here. Here we go. All right, that's the Asbury Ocean Club. Brand new building here. It's got a hotel in it, great apartments. They're very, very pricey, especially for an area like this. They're well above the cost of other beachfront properties here, but they're brand spanking new. They're not even finished. They're still building out a lot of the internal ones. So that is a potential investment, but also I'm looking into other real estate here, but also real estate back in Phoenix. So those are just a few areas that I put money into. Other businesses, into stocks, and then also into real estate. Oh man, so I actually had to come back to my hotel room because my phone froze. It didn't freeze up, it literally froze. The wind chill factor outside was below freezing and my phone just stopped working. So I had to heat it up, and now I'm finally finishing up part 3 of this video. All right, so here we go. The third way of being able to build wealth from an agency is to sell it. Yes, that's the thing that we all wish to do. We wish to be able to sell our agency, but the reality is they just don't sell. Most do not sell. And those that do sell end up selling for a very, very low multiple. A client of mine had a $3 million a year business, and the valuation that came back, 3 independent valuations when averaged together, was a total of $1.5 million. His personal income out of that $3 million a year agency was $900,000. So not even twice earnings. He got less than twice earnings as a valuation for his agency. That sucks. And that's the reality, is because most agencies are literally a job. Someone has to want to run your agency as their job, and most people don't. Most people do not want an agency because there's nothing to buy. The clients could all leave right after they purchase. There's nothing for them to acquire. So when someone comes along and buys an agency, it's usually for a strategic purpose. It's usually a larger agency. A larger agency comes along and has a gap in their services, and they see your agency is providing an amazing service in that gap. And they say, yes, we need that intellectual property. We need that IP in our business. So they just come over and acquire you instead of trying to build it from scratch inside their own company. So they come to you and they analyze your IP and they say, yes, this is exactly the thing that's going to fill the gap in our services. And then they offer you a decent sum. Sometimes, if you've got great intellectual property, you can get well above 8 times your earnings. Sometimes you can even sell for 10 times your revenue. Like that's like Silicon Valley numbers. Sometimes that happens. It's rare. So you have to have something very special and be very special for a larger agency to give you that kind of money. But you might be able to get 8 times your earnings. And if you focused on step 1 of having very high margins, so you have a very large net income, that is retirement level money. That's wealth generating money. Even at say $1 million in net profit and you get 8 times, that's $8 million before taxes, but it's $8 million, that's real wealth. So when you're going forward with your agency, make sure that you are developing your intellectual property. You're not just systemizing the way your company runs, but you're systemizing the thinking, the thing that makes it special, your strategy, the way you see the world, your creativity, all those things that make you you. You are turning that into intellectual property. Trademarking when possible. Oh, and that just reminds me, I tried to trademark a phrase that I started using just recently, and some other guy in a completely different space has put out the application for the trademark 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks before I went to do the trademark. So I can't trademark this phrase that is perfect for contractor dynamics. I just can't do it now. And that would have been great intellectual property to add to the company. So that's the thing. When you're building your intellectual property and you think, I got a good idea, go trademark it. Go try to protect it as soon as you possibly can, because that is going to be very valuable in the future when you go to sell. The final way of selling that I really want to mention here is the team. You've got a team that is doing this agency for you, and you're ready to retire or you're ready to move on to something else, and you can go to them and say, hey, would you like to buy the company? Would you like to take over the company? You guys are running it, you're doing a great job. Let's give you the company. You could probably negotiate 6 times earnings with your employees. So this is something that you should really consider. And they are probably going to be excited about doing something like that, where they get to own their job. They get to own the future of the company. That's something that a lot of people can get really excited about. And if not the whole team, maybe it's just the executives who are running it. Maybe it's just one executive who decides, yes, I want to take over this business and I'll buy you out 100%. Or maybe they just buy out 30% or 50%, and you still get to see some of the future upside and get some cash today. So this is a fantastic way of being able to sell your agency, assuming you've put in the effort of systemizing the company, building intellectual property, because even your employees are going to want something of value and not just buy cash flow that could disappear tomorrow. All right, that's all I got for you today on the 3 ways of building wealth from your agency. And as always, like, subscribe, share, do all the socials, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, done.